At first sight, this morning's higher level English paper 1 seems unremarkable. It's not particularly challenging, it's not particularly difficult, it's not particularly thought-provoking, but contained within it is a radical development in the examination of the subject. In that, for the first time ever, there's a compulsory link with paper 2, with the material on paper 2. Each of the 3 texts on this morning's paper contains a question which asks candidates to draw on their knowledge of paper 2, the prescribed text in paper 2. This in itself is a radical development, and it restores, as you should, the relationship between, the lack of distinction between language and literature. Literature is language, language is literature, and it restores that. Something that in previous examination papers, because there were 2 separate papers, can be seen as 2 distinct aspects of the subject. So that's a hugely welcome and long overdue development. To complement this rather radical development and departure, and very welcome one, as I said, the texts on the paper this morning, the texts themselves, were very accessible, very enjoyable. They included nothing problematic on them, nothing overly difficult. They included an extract from Conor McCann's book of advice to young writers, an extract from a Booker shortlisted novel from 2017 by a young English writer, and an illustrated poem by Isaac Rosenberg, who was killed in the First World War in 1918 on a Western Front in 1918. So a hugely welcome, hugely significant departure in the paper, and the second section of the paper, composing offered candidates probably the most intelligent selection of essay titles ever presented. It includes short stories, personal essays, descriptive essays, discursive essays, all of them stimulating, all of them inviting and no doubt rewarding a candidate's use of language, individual use of language, creative use of language, thought-provoking and stimulating. A very, very exciting paper in terms of where the examination of English is going in the country. And not least, probably most important of all, candidates coming out from the paper this morning looked as if they had enjoyed it, and it's a wonderful basis to continue with their examination for the rest. A wonderful start to their Leaving Cert examination.